Welcome back to the Sibling Group Chat. I'm Owen.
And I'm Cassidy.
And today we're back at it with the Odyssey Review, episode 42, A Single Vote.
Yes, this is the 47th episode of Adventures in Odyssey. It originally aired on November 5th, 1988. Pretty fitting time. It is in Album 3, Heroes. And in this episode, Whit tells a story about the difference a single vote can make. Our themes are voting, civic duty, and participating in democracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go voting.
Mm-hmm.
I love this Chris intro, by the way. The talking Abraham
Lincoln
Memorial
really
is so funny.
Yeah.
It also makes me think of Night in the Museum.
Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that.
I'm not, I never lie.
Yeah, I forgot he's in that.
But yeah, so the Chris intro is, she's at the Lincoln Memorial and Abe Lincoln can talk because it's amazing what you can do on radio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's telling her that he's heard sad stories that apparently people don't think voting really matters anymore.
It's just sad. I can't believe how many people are standing in a Lincoln Memorial talking about how they don't like to vote.
I know, right? And she says, sadly, it seems to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But today's venture is going to talk about that issue.
Yeah, because we're talking about voting. Shockingly.
Yeah,
I can't believe
it's crazy how she happened to be at the Lincoln Memorial.
It's really great timing, and I'm glad Abraham Lincoln gets the chance to listen to this episode. Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't get to listen to very much.
No, not as much as he wants to, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris tells us that Horace Higginbotham, for a one-time character who thought that needed to be his name.
Somebody was like, can we please use this name?
Why?
It's so random.
Horace Higginbotham.
Yeah, and this kid, I think this is this voice that we keep saying. I know it's other characters, but I can't remember who it is. So I finally looked it up. It's the voice of Monty, as well as a lot of other one-time characters like Chaz.
Okay. Yeah, Chaz. And is he a Leonard at some point or not?
I don't know if he's Leonard. I think he's Craig Moorhead, the joke teller. So I think Monty is his only like majorly recurring character, but he's a lot of one-time characters. So I was like, I need to know what this voice is because I just couldn't place it. So it's
anyway, he's running for class president.
Mm-hmm. And he's campaigning at Whit's End.
He's doing a rally.
This is probably why later when Kurt tries to campaign at Whit's End, Mr. Whittaker tells him no.
No, but Whit's like all for it because
in this episode,
Whit's like, well, he's giving out free ice cream samples to try to get kids to come. But then Tom Riley comes up to Whit and he's like, "It sure is a nice turnout." Whit's like, "It is great to see how much kids are interested in the political process." And I was really like, okay, first of all, Chris told us that none of the kids were listening to Horace.
But Chris didn't tell Whit that.
I know, but you would think Whit would be smart enough to notice. And like even Tom's like, and the free ice cream isn't
and with like I'm sure he does know. He's just trying to be like, yes, kids in the voting process.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, but then so after Tom and Whit are talking about this, well, Whit gives Tom some free ice cream. Mm-hmm. Horace and Connie come up, and Horace is trying to get Connie to back him as class president, and Connie won't. Are they in the same class?
I was wondering that, and I was like, or if he was just asking her to back him so that all the kids at Whit's End who like Connie.
That could be that, yeah.
My whole thing was, who goes this crazy for a class president?
I don't
what is a class president? Like in his like speech thing, he's like, "I will try to do everything I can to get this school on the map." You're the class president.
But that's always how Odyssey.
Yeah, but most of the time it's some kind of like student body president, and that makes more sense.
I don't know. Maybe in a bigger school, class presidents have more.
Maybe I don't know.
Clout.
I was always my class's vice president, and I did diddly squat. So
yeah, I don't know. It does seem weird, and it seems like the entire if Horace is the normal kid age, he's in middle school. Connie's in high school. So the entire K through 12 of Odyssey is running class elections all at once because Connie says she's sick of elections going on at school.
I feel like at this point in time, maybe the average kid age is a little bit before middle school. Like later in Odyssey, most of them are middle school. But
Connie says there's elections going on for her too.
Yeah. Well, it would make sense that they would do them at
election time.
The same time. Because like you wouldn't want to do it in like the middle of the year or something.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Just apparently it's school-wide election season.
But anyway, Horace and Connie come up arguing about he wants Connie to back him, and she says she thinks the whole thing is stupid. And Whit's like, whoa, 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 what do you think is stupid? And she's like, elections.
Like, they're just a popularity contest. And he's basically like, well, at your age, yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No. There's a bit more to them, but it boils down to that at a young age. But he says they're supposed to prepare you for real elections.
And he asks Connie if she doesn't see the value in it. And she's like, maybe if my vote actually would matter then, but it won't, because there's millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
And Whit's like, well, you've clearly never heard the story of Jamison Shoemaker. Well, no, Mr. Whitaker, no one's ever heard that story.
I mean, I've never heard anyone else other than this episode talk about it.
Is it actually, like, I know the story is true. Is that the actual, like, name of the person?
I don't know. I
feel like I looked it up once.
I thought about looking it up and I didn't. I just never realized how closely this parallels to, well, I guess you've never heard the story of Madge and Guy. Who? Are you telling me you've never heard of Madge and Guy? No, but I have a feeling we're about to. Yeah, I don't know. It's just very reminiscent of that one. He's like, clearly you've never heard the story of Jamison Shoemaker.
But anyway, he was an Indiana farmer.
Was?
I take it he's no longer with him. Where is he? He's dead, Horace.
Oh.
My favorite, though, is after that, and Wido's like, well, it only makes sense. He lived over 150 years ago. Wow, if he were alive today, he'd be dead.
He got just like, very good, Horace.
I love that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Anyway, the story starts in Texas in 1845.
And then Connie's like, wait, I thought you said he was an Indiana farmer.
The story goes backwards.
Yes, it starts at the end.
And ends at the beginning.
Ends at the beginning.
Yes. President Sam Houston.
Voiced by Will Ryan.
There's about 15 different people
I know.
voiced by Will Ryan.
I pointed this out later, but I think throughout the whole thing, you got Will Ryan and Walker Edmondson doing a ton of different voices, joined a few times by Chuck Bolte, Phil Lawler, and Bob Luttrell.
Yeah.
So
it's the majority Will Ryan and Walker Edmondson with a few other random ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Sam Houston waiting for a courier to come with news about whether or not Texas would become a state in the United States.
Did.
What history books did you read? What episode did you listen to? I was thinking, like, how many people do you think in like the United States today don't know that Texas was its own country for like, I don't know, a few years? It wasn't that long, but do you think like the general public knows?
Too many people don't know.
Probably. I mean, I feel like people in Texas probably know because they like to pretend they're still their own country.
Texas is still Texas.
And what about the really loud one?
Yeah. Anyway, it was probably. Did you know? If you know this episode, I'm sure you
so.
know. Yeah.
But anyway,
if you don't, we expect better of you.
The courier, the courier arrives because Sam Houston, the message, it's a little crumpled up, and so he goes out to read it to the people
without even reading it first.
What a leader, man of the people.
I'm hearing this. I, like you, are hearing it for the first time.
And he reads that Texas is the 28th and newest state in the Union. And the guy who's writing to him about this, Stephen Austin, if you're familiar with Texas independence, you'd know.
Or Texas city names.
Or Texas city names. Most of those are related to the fight for Texas independence.
Yeah.
If not, there's some really great books, like even at like elementary level about the Alamo, and that's where I learned all of these names. I read the same random book about the Alamo like 50 times in elementary school.
You did?
Yeah. It was in our elementary library.
Oh.
That's why I knew all the names. I mean, obviously most people know these names, but
anyway,
Stephen Austin writes him that there was a senator named Harrigan from Indiana who he believed to be against us. But when they counted the votes, Texas became a state by one vote, and Harrigan had voted for them.
Yep.
He's not sure why he changed his mind.
No.
Can only credit it to God.
Yep. Or coincidence.
I don't believe anything is coincidental.
But we'll get to that later. But yes, so Texas became a state by one vote. And at this point, Chris says, and now for the conclusion of today's adventure.
I didn't
9 minutes in.
I love it when that's like
way too early. Or it's probably early way more often than I notice, but when it's noticeably like, Chris, we haven't even reached like...
There's still 2/3 of Whit's story left, let alone the conclusion outside of Whit's story.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so Chris says that, and then we go back to the president where Connie is still not convinced.
Well, and she has a decent point. She's like, well, obviously this guy's a senator. Of course, his vote is going to mean a little bit more.
And Whit's like,
keep
just listening.
Don't go away. There's more to come.
Yeah.
A couple of years. Wait, hold on.
6 years before.
I'm going to say I skipped a paragraph of my notes. I was about to go straight to Jamison Shoemaker.
Nope.
The second part of the story happens in Indianapolis 6 years earlier, where a vote was being taken who the second senator from Indiana was going to be. I'm trying to think from my U.S. history, but at like this time, senators would have been chosen by like the state legislature, not by the people of the state.
It says that, yeah.
Okay.
It says the Indiana legislature is voting on senators.
And so a guy named Madison Marsh is asking his advisors who he should vote for. I love this scene.
It's so funny. This is Will Ryan and Doug Pulte.
Like, there's only one man. Zumwalt. Zumwalt?
The names are so weird.
It's Zumwalt and Rothschild.
Rothschilds are Rothschild.
With Rothschild, you'll know exactly where you stand. Yes, in quicksand. Vote for Zumwalt, sir. He'll stand for our state's rights, and then he'll steal them from right under you.
Yeah, it is really funny.
And then this Marsh guy's like, guys, there's one more. What about him? They're like, yeah, no, he has no experience. You should definitely not vote for him. And Marsh is like, got it, thanks. I'm gonna go vote for him.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty much. So what happens is there's a tie. And so my question was Marsh like what do you call it? Not the, I don't know, like the guy who doesn't vote unless there's a tie because he votes at the end, or was that just for storytelling purposes?
I think it's for storytelling purposes, or maybe...
Because I got the impression he was a legislator.
Yeah, well, I don't think this is how you should do this, but I get the impression they were counting the votes as they were live voting.
Which
sounds like a terrible way to do it.
Yeah.
But like, we have 3 people left, we have a tie, 2 of the 3 people aren't here, so it's all up to you, buddy.
Yeah. But Marsh is like, I'm voting for Harrigan. So Harrigan won by 1 vote.
Mm-hmm. And Connie is still skeptical.
Well, again, it was a state legislator this time. It's still a high-ranking political person.
And Whit's like, but I've still got my Trump card.
A couple of years earlier,
in
there was this farmer named Jamison Shoemaker who was out plowing his fields while singing.
Yep.
They don't say he was singing, but he is singing. And his neighbor comes by. I don't even have his name.
Was
Reynolds,
I think. Yeah.
He came by on his horse through Shoemaker's field, apparently.
She's not happy about it.
He's like, and why are you riding, screaming like a crazy person through my field? It's like, I'm sorry, I always get this way on election day. And Shoemaker's like, well, that's great. That's tomorrow. Why you have it like this today? And he's like, well, if it ain't today, there is sure an awful lot of people in town voting for no reason.
The voice acting in this is just fantastic.
Yeah. And so Shoemaker's like, oh boy, to town.
Yeah, I got the day wrong.
So he rushes off to town.
We get to town before he does.
Yeah, and we
go wherever
the 2 little ballot guys. Yeah, we go to the 2 ballot. I love the 2 ballot guys. Yeah. Can we close up yet? No, the polls aren't supposed to close till 5 o'clock.
I'm telling you,
nobody else is coming. I already counted up all the votes. We ain't even got any more official ballots left.
The rules say the polls close at 5 o'clock. And at 5
rules
o'clock,
are rules.
And this poll is going to close.
Shoemaker got there a couple minutes before the poll closed. I have a typo. It says pool.
The pool.
Shoemaker got there before the pool closed. Thankfully, he really wanted to go swimming.
I feel like it was like right at 5 o'clock.
Well,
or like
it was
4:58 or something.
Because he had finished writing his ballot before the time went out. He just had to put it in the ballot box.
I suppose.
But they don't have any more ballots left, so he has to write it on a piece of paper.
Can you write?
Yes, I can. And so they give him the ballot. They ask him if he knows who he's voting for, because obviously a piece of paper doesn't just have the names of the candidates.
But I suppose this is why he needed to be able to write. But if he can read the names, then I think he can write the names. But whatever.
But anyway, he casts his vote, and then the 1 ballot guy is like, here, hand it here. He's like, no, you hit my hand.
It has to go in the ballot box.
But I'm the one who pulls them out of the ballot box. Rules are rules.
Yeah.
So they put it in the ballot box, counts up the votes, which I feel like take him longer than it should, considering he already had all the other ones done. But then, is it Shoemaker or the other ballot guy who first asks who won?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Well, somebody asked who won, and he's like, "Are you sure there isn't no protocol about who I have to tell first?" No. So he tells him who won. Madison Marsh. And Shoemaker's like, that's the guy I voted for.
That's the guy I voted for.
It's like, well, congratulations.
I'm sure glad your man won.
Not half as glad as he's going to be when he finds out you voted for him.
Like, why?
because he won by 1 vote.
Wow.
Ooh.
And I think they say something about like only time will tell what your 1 vote did, because
I just hope I made the right choice.
time will tell, sir. Time will tell. Something like that.
So after all of this, Connie begrudgingly admits that 1 vote must have an influence because Whit just obviously proved that it did. Because 1 vote led to another 1 vote that led to another 1 vote. So that
Texas
Shoemaker
became a state.
was directly responsible for Texas becoming a state.
And Horace, like, this is great. Can I use it in my campaign? I have a feeling that the kids who are already not listening to his campaign are not going to be any further impressed by the story, but that's okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. He went to go tell them pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess.
McConaughey says, like, obviously it shows that 1 vote can have an impact. However,
it's a lot of coincidences.
It's a lot of coincidence. It's like, no, I don't think it is. And she's like, how come? He's like, well, first of all, and this makes sense. He's like, each one of those people made a conscious choice. Like, they had reasons for why they picked one person. It wasn't just like they rolled the dice. Like, oh, guess I'm voting for Marsh today. Oh, guess I guess Texas should be a state. Like, they had reasoning, except for I'm not 100% sure that Marsh had reasoning for voting for Harrigan. It seemed like he was just like going against his advisors.
I'm sure he did.
I'm joking. Yeah. I'm joking. And then he also says, and there's a second reason. I don't believe anything is coincidental.
Because he said in episode 1, well, that was just a coincidence. But this is the stance he holds a lot.
Odyssey.
Do you think they drive home the fact that he doesn't believe in coincidences more?
Just because he said it in the first episode.
Yeah. It's just their own little joke they like to keep up with.
But he says he doesn't believe anything is random chance. He says it's part of God's plan.
Which is true.
Yeah, it's true. And Connie isn't quite sure what to think about it, although she does say that she's amazed that Whit has the ability to relate anything to the Bible.
And you know what she finds even more amazing? She's kind of getting used to it. Foreshadowing. And right before that, like, they kind of end their conversation with Connie, be like, well, I need to go get this place cleaned up. And I just feel like multiple times, like, anytime Whit is trying to have a really deep conversation with Connie, he's like, well, I need to go get things cleaned up.
Well, what do you know? I have a job that I haven't been doing.
Which, after she becomes a Christian, she is not as quick to do her job. You can find her just reading the newspaper all the time. She doesn't care if Whit...
I'm scrubbing the counter with a newspaper, Connie.
Yeah. She's not trying to avoid Whit anymore, so she's like, who cares?
Yeah. And that, I guess that about does it.
Yep, that's the end.
Chris outro. Abraham Lincoln likes the story, and Chris states how we can use involvement in civil duty and whatnot to make change for the better.
Yes.
Yeah, that does it. It's a good episode. I love that episode.
I kind of forgot about that episode and how much I like it.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. And it's clearly driving home a point, but it's done well through good storytelling. It's not just trying to push.
And it's honestly more about the moral of do your civic duty than it is anything biblical. But the biblical tie-in about like not believing in coincidence is well placed and is.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's also saying that like we are following God by
it's true, yeah.
by doing our civic duty. So yeah, it's a good episode.
Yeah.
Our next episode is another good episode. It is called Heroes. It is the title episode of album 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess that'll about do it. We thank you for watching and or listening. Subscribe wherever you get the podcast and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.